So VGAs. Speaking
Mm-hmm.
of dumb, embarrassing shit we make people do,
The vaginas.
was it awful this year?
It was the VGAs. It was no different than usual. I wrote an article about it on Gamefront today that was like, can we stop doing every year the same chin-stroking pundits will write there, why the VGAs need to change. So they're not going to change. They don't need to change. We're the ones that need to change. We need to get over the fact that we are the wrong people to watch that kind of thing and expect it to be whatever Jeff Keighley says it's going to be. He knows he's not being honest there. It's a Spike program. I might as well get angry that 1,000 Ways to Die doesn't appeal to gamers. That's about as much of a relationship that the VGAs have with the interests of the hardcore gamer. It's about as relevant to us as 1,000 Ways to Die. The only thing you want to watch are the trailers, and you can watch that on any blog.
Well, the thing I love about it is that the awards are, the awards are the titles, the video game awards, but that's so secondary. They actually presented like 5 awards, and 3 of them were made up.
Yeah.
They had a Hall of Fame award for Miyamoto. They had the Gamer God for Blizzard. What the fuck is that? And then the Ray Rice NFL Blitz cover athlete as voted by fans, presented by whatever.
Well, that's it. That's the audience right there. They want to appeal to people that like to see footballers talking about footballers who will be the footballer on the football game. They don't
like Baron.
Yeah, it's not really for us. And, gamers are very entitled. Everything's got to be catered exactly to their specifications. And I'm sure they'd love to see more acceptance speeches from developers, apart from the fact that most of those developers have never been in front of a camera, and even less actually have any presence in front of a camera. And people who watch Spike TV don't want to see that. They want to see a man dressed as a soldier, teabagging people. They want to see Felicia Day wear 5 different costumes and eat cakes. That's what they want, and that's what Spike is appealing to. And for us to be annoyed about it is like being annoyed about Sex and the City not being game-oriented enough. It's just pointless. And these musing why the Spike VGAs need to change. They don't need to change. They're doing very well. They're good at what they do. That's what they do. They make embarrassing health bar fucking jokes and have Felicia Day come on stage and go, BioShock, whoa! Like, that's what they do. That's what they're designed to do. The Spike VGAs are very carefully constructed. It's not like they're going out there and they don't know what they're doing.
Right, but at the same time, is what they're doing kind of, making an unnecessary mockery out of the culture? Because, the cakes thing, and some of that was really pretty dumb. I'm not saying that I think the show needs to change. I don't care. I think anybody with a brain realizes that it's really not that important, but there are some out there who would argue that it paints us in a juvenile light.
Yeah. It's Spike TV.
Yeah, have you ever seen Mansers? Just think about the title of that show.
Spike TV, basically, its entire modus operandi is to continually take the piss out of the people watching it. It continuously shine a mirror in their faces and say, this is you moron. And the people don't get it. They just sit there going, like that. And that's how Spike operates.
As someone on Twitter said, because for people who didn't see it, we sort of chatted while it was going on, the show was going on. And someone on Twitter was like, well, they're talking about the Transformers animated movie, so it can't be that interesting. Which is true.
Well,
we did spend a lot of time on that.
That's how you watch the VGAs. That's how you should watch the VGAs the same way you watch, an old Friday the 13th movie. It's just bad. So have fun with it.
What do you guys think about the Metal Gear Rising Revengeance stuff that's been coming out? It's okay. So they changed It's not Metal Gear Rising. That project got scrapped. This is now a new story. It's now set after the events of Metal Gear Solid 4, presumably, so that no one gets pissy about the canon. But they're saying it's not really an MGS game anyway, so it won't really fit in the canon. Uh,
This reminds me of something a comic book artists would pull, where it's just like, here's an alternate take on these characters you love, which I don't really have a problem with as someone who's not super attached to a lot of those the mythos of Metal Gear.
Yeah, it does look. I think I said when we were doing the VGA live stream, it's like Ultimate Spider-Man as compared to Amazing Spider-Man or something like that. Except, as far as I can tell, it is actually going to be established in the existing Metal Gear Solid universe. So it is going to be canon, and it does. I think Kojima said it takes place after Metal Gear Solid 4.
See, now the impression I got from what Kojima said was that it wasn't going to be canon, it was going to be like a Gaiden kind of thing, but using the established canon of Metal Gear up through Metal Gear Solid 4. That was the tone I got from it, so we might need to ask for some clarification on that.
That just gets weird. It just gets like, that's him doubling down on the pretension.
Well, but at the same time, it's also providing a measure of distance from what could be a super weird Platinum Games experience.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I mean, I guess we really need to see more. It's like, the game does look like it could be fun, which is really the ultimate thing we should be looking at. You know, if it's a good game, it doesn't matter to me so much what else it does. And I say that as a big Metal Gear Solid fan. But it will be interesting to see if it is part of the canon, if this is definitely what Raiden did after Metal Gear Solid 4. It's going to be interesting to see how that works within the universe, how they can tie that together, because it does look so different. It does look like an anime spoof of Metal Gear Solid rather than Metal Gear Solid itself. It's a strange situation, but it's cool. I think the series, a lot of people would tell you that the Metal Gear series needed a good shake-up, and you can't get much more shaken up than Platinum Games stepping in and saying, "Allow me." So we'll see.
I look at it and it looks so very, very different from anything that I see Metal Gear Solid doing. And I'm reminded of when the Twin Snakes came out, and they, they had those cutscenes that they added in where they were like bullet time, slow motion animation that weren't in the original Metal Gear. And that and the voice acting redub, those were the two complaints I heard people making about the Twin Snakes. And this reminds me a lot of that kind of action. So I wonder how well people are going to receive it.
But you can cut a guy and then cut him again and then cut those two parts into 4 and then keep going. So it's okay.
Yeah. I mean, I see no point of that unless he is going to sell them in a butcher's shop later. There's no other point. Like, is that what's happening in that game? Are you like the Sweeney Todd of video games? And that's all I can think of. He's going to be putting them into pies.
Submit responded to some PR and he was like, "This is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. I'm gonna post it."
Yeah. Oh. Okay. So for a second, he responded to the PR when he did that. I quickly went.
No, not to them, but yeah. Like, yep, that's pretty much it.
When was the last time we did that? It does happen.
Not long ago.
Yeah. Oh, this is a load of fucking shit. Copy all, send.
The worst is when it's a new PR firm and then they don't BCC everyone, so you have every single site in the industry on it, and then you get some random site never heard of responding to everyone. It's just not good.
If you're a freelancer in the industry, though, the first time you get that email,
Yeah.
that's a gold mine.